the kind of commendation that brings heaven down to men. Before we come back to that Rakabite, I was saying obedience is the principal thing. Like Bible normally say, wisdom is the principal thing. With all you are getting, get understanding. Obedience is the principal thing. With anything you want to do, just make sure that obedience to God is at the center. Many trouble in businesses between business partner comes because one of them or both of them disobey the terms of their agreement. I have people here who have been in partnership with people before. They will tell you that everything moves on as long as everybody does what we agree to do. But whenever anyone takes advantage of the simplicity of the other person and does different, there will be calamity. Our walk with God is a covenanted walk. Please write that down. Is a covenanted walk. Our walk with God is not a careless walk. Why you cannot be frivolous with your walk with God is that covenant is attached at the root. And to every covenant, there are do's and don'ts. There are two sides. Don't do this, I will do this. If you do this, I will not do this. And that's what gave us the whole of the scriptures. When God begins to relate with man, there is need for them to have it together. There is need. God was tired of men saying, I'm sorry, of men saying, going backward. God made it possible to be put together. And the graphical first example of being put together, do you remember it? It was when they were leaving Egypt and they were going through the promised land. God was angry with them because by his mercy he brought them out of Egypt with miraculous sign, everything. They have not gone far when they began to rebel. They became rebels. They were complaining. They were grumbling. First of all, they were grumbling against God's servant Moses. They were not bold to go and meet him first and foremost. They were speaking among themselves. And God was angry. God killed some of them. Later, God, when some of them were bold, they went to Moses. Why now? Why do you want to kill us? Is that because you want to kill us that you made this like this and like this? God said, I will wipe them away. Moses pleaded. And as he went to the mountain, God gave him a rule. He said, okay, let's make it into a commandment that they can read, they can attest to it, they can say it is this. Even after God gave them, Sir and Ma, did they obey? After they had it, the first one written was written by the finger of God. Do you remember? God himself wrote it. Do not steal. Do not have any other God besides me. Do not. And Moses came down with it. As he was coming down with it, he found out that the very people didn't even respect that he had gone to God. They had begun to do different kind of thing, including making another God to be in the place of God. Moses went back again. He came back again. After all this, Moses died. Joshua came. Joshua told them, we will take care of God's word. Everything. Joshua came. Joshua went. We have the judges. The judges came. The judges went. We had the prophet. The prophet came. The prophet went. Disobedience was at the heart of every man. But you see, every time man keep disobeying, God keep looking for solution until we find it in Jesus. So if anybody is thinking, Pastor, are we not going to leave obedience? We will not leave it until God tells you that I'm now okay with your obedient life. Of course, that means all through year in, year out, we'll be talking about obedience. That is not what I meant. I mean, we are going to drive it home to a point that all of us, by mercy, if If you miss January, you will not miss February. You will not miss March. You will not miss April. If you miss April, we are in May. If you miss May, we will meet it in June. Somebody will say, but what about every other areas of our Christian life? They will be embedded in, because obedience connects every areas of our Christian life. Obedience does what? Obedience connects every areas of all the areas of our Christian life. Obedience is key to every one of them. So let's begin to glean. That is the word, Glean. Let's begin to glean the wisdom of God towards obedience in the life and the story of the Rechabites. For those who are just coming in, the general topic we have been considering since January is the way of diligent obedience. We are in part 7, and under the part 7, the subtopic is the obedience of the Rechabites. For those who are elderly among us, for young people, students, secondary school, university, right? Your own topic is the legendary obedience of the Rechabites. Let's read. I have been trusting God that I will do a little rushing so that we see if we can finish it. But if you cannot finish it, I will stop anywhere. I want you to follow very duly. Some questions will be coming to your mind. If you feel it is urgent, you may raise it immediately. If it's not urgent, you may wait towards the time I will ask for you to make input. Then we can, all your contributions. We are reading Jeremiah 35 from verse 1 to the end. We first read the story to the end. As we are reading, somebody will get extra insight even before some of the things we will be discussing here. Please read with understanding. Jeremiah 35 from verse 1. The obedience of the Rechabites. This is the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord during the reign of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah. Go to the Rechabites. Go to the Rechabites family and invite them to come to one of the side rooms of the house of the Lord and give them wine to drink. So I went to get Jaazaniah, son of Jeremiah, the son of Abazaniah, and his brothers, and all his sons, the whole family of the Rechabites. I brought them into the house of the Lord, into the room of the sons of Hanan, son of Igdaliah, the man of God. It was next to the room of the officials, which was over that of Messiah, son of Shalom, the doorkeeper. Then I set bowls full of wine and some cups before the men of the Rechabite family, and said to them, drink some wine. Let's read verse 6 and 7 together. 6, 7, and 8 together. But they replied, we do not drink wine, because our forefather Jonadab, son of Rechab, gave us this command: neither you nor your descendants must ever drink wine. Also, you must never build houses, sow seed, or plant vineyard. You must never have any of these things, but must always live in tents. Then you will live a long time in the land where you are nomads. Verse 8 together. We have obeyed everything our forefather Jonadab, son of Rechab, commanded us. Neither we, nor our wives, nor our sons, and our daughters have ever drunk wine, or built houses to live in, or had vineyard, fields, or crop. Let's read 10 to 11. We have lived in tents and have fully obeyed everything our forefather Jonadab commanded us. 11, and we stop. But when Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, we must go to Jerusalem to escape the Babylonian and Aramean armies. So we have remained in Jerusalem. So listen as I read on. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah saying, this is what the Lord,